Have you ever felt someone slowly becoming distant, but every time you noticed it, you told yourself you were overthinking? Maybe they still text you. Maybe they still say, "I'm busy." Maybe part of you keeps hoping things will go back to normal. But deep down, you can feel the energy changing. And the truth is, people rarely lose interest all at once. It usually happens quietly, in small behaviors most people ignore until it's too late. Here are 7 signs they're losing interest in you emotionally. If you've been confused about someone's behavior lately, this video might explain a lot. And no, this isn't about making you paranoid. It's about recognizing emotional patterns before they destroy your confidence, your peace, and your self-worth. So let's start with the first sign. 1. Their effort suddenly changes. At the beginning, effort feels natural. They text first, they make time for you, they remember little things you said. You don't have to beg for attention because their interest shows naturally. But when someone starts losing emotional connection, effort becomes inconsistent.
Replies get shorter. Calls become rare. Plans feel forced. You always initiate conversations. And what hurts the most is this. They still give just enough attention to keep you emotionally attached. That's what confuses people. Because when someone truly values you, consistency doesn't feel like a struggle. 2. They stop being curious about you. One of the clearest signs of emotional interest is curiosity. Someone who genuinely cares wants to know how your day went, what's stressing you, what makes you happy, what's happening in your mind. But when interest fades, curiosity disappears. Conversations become surface level. You notice they talk to you, but not with you anymore. And emotionally, this creates loneliness even while you're still connected to them. Because one of the worst feelings in relationships is feeling emotionally unseen. 3. You feel like you're too much for asking for basic things. This is where many people start blaming themselves. You ask for communication, and suddenly you feel needy. You ask for consistency, and now you feel demanding. But healthy interest doesn't make you feel guilty for wanting basic emotional effort. Read that again. When someone is emotionally invested, reassurance doesn't feel like pressure. But when interest is fading, even simple requests start feeling annoying to them. And over time, you slowly shrink yourself just to avoid pushing them away. That's emotionally exhausting. 4. Their energy changes around you. Sometimes people say all the right words, but their energy tells the real story. You can feel when someone is emotionally present, and you can feel when they're mentally somewhere else. Maybe they seem distracted. Conversations feel cold. Affection feels forced. Their excitement around you disappears. Humans are emotional beings. We notice energy before we notice logic. That's why your intuition often picks up emotional distance long before
Your mind accepts it in their future. When someone truly sees you in their life, they naturally include you in future plans, even casually. Things like, "We should go there someday." "Next month we can." "I want us to." But when interest fades, the future becomes unclear. You stop hearing "we" and start hearing "I." And emotionally, that shift matters more than people realize. Because love grows through emotional investment in a shared future. Without that, connection slowly weakens. 6. You start feeling more anxiety than peace. One of the biggest signs something is wrong is when the relationship creates constant anxiety instead of emotional safety. You overthink everything: their replies, their tone, their absence, their behavior. You constantly wonder, did I do something wrong? But here's the truth most people avoid. The right connection won't leave you emotionally starving all the time. No relationship is perfect, but consistent emotional confusion is not healthy love. And sometimes
Your anxiety isn't insecurity, it's your emotional needs going unmet. 7. You can feel yourself chasing them. This is usually the final sign. You notice you're trying harder, caring more, fixing everything, carrying conversations, holding the relationship together alone. And the painful part is, the more distant they become, the harder you try to bring back the version of them you once had. But love should never feel like constantly convincing someone to care. Real interest doesn't require endless chasing. Mutual effort is what keeps relationships alive, not one person carrying all the emotional weight. Sometimes people don't lose interest because you weren't enough. Sometimes people lose interest because they're emotionally unavailable, immature, confused, or simply not aligned with you anymore. And as painful as that is, the worst thing you can do is ignore reality just because you're afraid of losing someone. Because the longer you chase inconsistent love, the more you abandon yourself in the process. The right relationship won't leave you constantly questioning where you stand.